Hi everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm giving you a new weekend reading vlog. So first off, I'm sorry for this weird voice, but I am sick. I have been sick for the last couple of days. It is Saturday today, so this is gonna be a shorter video because yesterday I did take a day off. I took a sick day and I slept pretty much all day. It feels like the influenza. I'm not sure. I haven't taken any tests. I'm not going to. It's fine. I'm gonna go through it, but it really feels like it in my body. It started on Thursday. I had a headache, and then I was feeling more and more tired the more the day went, and that's usually suspicious. And then I started feeling dizzy. Like I was walking in the hallway and I felt so dizzy. So much fun. I knew from there that I was definitely sick and something was coming up, some virus. So I decided to right away write to my principal and get my day off on Friday. I was supposed to have a full day with my students. I don't have many left till the end of the year. So like every class is accounted for and I have everything planned until then. I did have like maybe a class or two of like what ifs in case of something happens. Something did happen, unfortunately, and I am so glad. I was stressed out, and I always feel guilty because, especially in music, not a lot of people accept to sub in music when they're usually just like an elementary school teacher. They usually like do general in class subbing, and they rarely enjoy going into music because it scares them. They don't know music, and we don't have a lot of music subs, and none were available on that day. But we do have a couple of teachers that retired in the last year, and they came back, and they've been coming back to sub in just like a couple of schools, not the schools of the whole district. So they pretty much choose whenever they do want to sub, and they're happy to come back and not having to like plan everything and grade and everything that comes with the job, but they can just socialize with the kids still and teachers. So yeah, one of our retiree came and subbed for my day. So I was really, really, really grateful because I knew they were in good hands, so I could sleep guiltlessly, and I did. I slept most part of the day on Friday. And also the thing is that on Thursday I did have some things I needed to get done. So I had to go to the music store and bring back a trumpet that was acting out and I couldn't fix. And so they did an exchange, and then I went to IKEA because here we are in like, they call them townhouses because we're like six houses, but like all in one building. It's not an apartment, it's really like one house, anyways. And the townhouse besides me smokes, and it smells in my house. I cannot stand the scent. It's beginning to be intense. So I went to IKEA. They had sales on the air purifiers. I don't know how you call them in English. I think that's it. That's how it's called. So I bought one so that we can have a little bit more pleasant scent in the house. It's been on for the last 36 hours-ish. It's not quite gone yet, but it's getting there. It's not as bad as it was, so that's good, but we're probably going to have to like move it around the house because we do have the basement, the ground floor, and upstairs, so we'll have to move it around. the house, I think. And the sun is coming out. As you can see, I know this is the worst lighting to be filming, but my house right now is a chaos, so we're just gonna roll with it. Also, me being sick, it means that I haven't done much. So there's also that. So yeah, it took me everything that I had to come back from the store. I was walking the store feeling so dizzy. It was so tough to come back. Yeah, not great. I slept for so long. I slept on the couch also because I didn't want to contaminate my husband. He gets everything that we bring in the house, so trying our best to contain it to me. I remember my son waking me up because it was time for his bedtime story, and he cannot compute a bedtime routine without me and him reading together. He was doing the reading, and I usually correct him because some words just pass very quickly because they're a little bit more complicated to read, and his speech impediment makes it difficult for him sometimes to read certain words and pronounce them. And so I usually work on that, and we work on new vocabulary because that's like his main issue, which is called lexical retrieval. So it's hard for him to retain new words and find the words. So I usually use this time to like work on that and repeat and ask questions. What does this mean? And usually his answer is like, I don't know what it means. So like, how do you want to continue and comprehend what you're reading if you don't ask yourself these questions? So I'm here to help him usually. But like on Thursday, he woke me up. I remember like correcting him from what I thought was the word that was written. I don't know if that was the right written word, but I tried to correct him, but sometimes like stuff did not make sense in my head. And I remember him like asking me, how do you write vampire? And I was telling him a bunch of letters. I'm not even sure I was spelling him the right word. And I kind of like realized that when I was towards the end of it. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. Vampire is this. And I was like, okay, like you need to go to bed now because mommy is this is not going well. Even when you're sick, you can't take a day off from being a mom, but it was funny to me afterwards. So yeah, fun time. I slept so much yesterday, and then since I slept that much in the evening, I felt really better. I felt a little bit more energized. So I went to reading, and I read a lot. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about before moving on to other things. So first off, I finished Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So the original-ish book, it says in the notes that a couple of parts were edited, but it's still very close to the original text, which I think is quite interesting. I ended up giving this a 4-star because I think I enjoy the concept of it more than the actual original book. The first thing is because I think it's a product of its time, and to me, some things didn't quite age well. The caterpillar smoking thing, I mean, it's middle grade, so like the smoking thing to me makes no sense for children. That kind of bothers me. There's a couple of things that are a little like that I read were a little bit icky, things like that, but it's not like major stuff. It's very minor stuff that I caught on. And there's a lot of things happening. I was very curious to see if it was like true to Alice's the Disney movie, the original one that was made in the 50s, in the 1950s. And I did watch it after finishing my read of the book. I watched it. It's one of their shortest films because it was only an hour long. And I mean, the book is not very long either. So it's very easy to go through. It reads pretty fast. And yeah, the thing that bothered me is like plot wise, she went through all of these adventures for what in the end? What did she learn about it? I'm not sure. I don't understand it. I feel like it's the original trope of like she woke up and it was all in a dream. I don't know existed before, if it was actually a trope before Alice, but I feel like this is like the starting point of that trope. Fortunately, people don't use it much anymore. I haven't read it much. But if you just stick to the plot, I don't feel like there was much to it. Like it didn't bring anything to the reader or Alice. In the end, she changed, but she didn't change. And that's the other thing, because there's a thing about her saying like who am I? I don't know who I am because I changed physically so much. But it's also a metaphor for like changing in your soul or whatever you want to call it. But I think the strong point of this book is all of the like the wordplays and the metaphors, and they mix things up and it makes no sense, but at the same time it also makes sense. And I love that. I really do. I love going into a world that is out of your comfort zone because you don't understand how it works and how this world operates, and it makes you question everything that you know, which that was very clear in this book, and I really enjoyed that part. Also, Alice is a very curious character. I feel like some people can still relate to Alice as kids or parents who have kids like her, because she cannot stop thinking and talking and talking and talking, and she does not get some social cues. She does not get at all. She's a little bit clumsy, and I think it's funny, and I feel like it's a typical ADHD type of character. So she just runs off for an adventure, not knowing where she's going, what she's doing. She's just continuing on because she was curious to see what the bunny was late for. That's it. Like that's the only reason. But she kind of like deviates from that plan because ADHD, I guess. I'm projecting, but it feels really much like that. And she just follow alongs with like what happens, and we're just gonna roll with it. And I love that. I really, really do. Even if she's a bit annoying at sometimes, I really enjoyed that. I didn't know there was a King of Hearts also. I didn't think he was like that prominent. I thought people were very much more scared of the Queen of Hearts than anyone else. But I think it's my biased opinion of me really loving the Tim Burton movies. I think that's a major part of it. And I feel like the Tim Burton movies have more of like a purpose to the plot than this. I know it's not the same. They kind of made it like afterwards when she were grown up and she forgot about her adventures in Wonderland. But I feel like it had purpose much more, and it made Alice grow as a person. And I'm not meaning physically, but I think I enjoy that much more than just what this was trying to do. But I get it's a lot about morals, and in those times, morals were a big part of like storytelling. So I get it, but there's not. Maybe I just didn't understand it, but I didn't feel like there was this moral at the end of the story. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm rambling and saying nonsense, but quite on theme. But yeah, the movie I did enjoy, the Disney cartoon version of 1951 or 53, I don't remember. But I did enjoy it, but there's a lot less stuff in there than there was in here. I enjoyed my time, but I think I like the concept of Alice more than the actual original content. I can't say that this is my favorite book ever, no. But I really enjoy the nonsense stuff. When I was studying art, my favorite art period was like surrealism, which is also a lot of nonsense. Anyways, in the end, I gave it overall a 4 stars. Then I picked up The Girl from the Other Side, Volume 2, which I started and finished, as well as Volume 3. Yes, I finished 3 books yesterday. Who am I? What happened? I feel like life wanted me to take a break and just sit down and read. That's what I did. That's the only thing I felt like doing. I did not sleep a lot last night because I was up still reading. Not these ones, because these ones I finished quite early-ish. But I did read some other stuff, which I will talk in a bit. But this one continues our adventure with our two main characters. So we have the outsider, which is called Teacher here, and Shiva, who is this little girl that is uncursed, and the outsider is a cursed one who is trying to help this little girl. She was abandoned by her aunt who was raising her, and we don't know much about it. So in this dystopian world-ish, there's a curse. So if you touch someone that is cursed, you're gonna end up like an animal and basically become an animal and become dark, all black and beak and whatever, pretty much like this. And they lose all humanity that they have. So people, when they see outsiders, they just up and leave before they get cursed, or before the authorities that are not outsiders decide to like burn the city down to the ground and make sure it doesn't spread more. But yeah, it's wild and so good. I love these books so much. So for this one, I did the bingo board. So this was the pick for the bingo board that I did. I did like a 9 square 3x3 bingo board for the prediction in the Aurelium Readathon. So I had 9 predictions. I got 2 of them right. That's it. I don't want to say them. I'll put a spoiler alert here. So if you want to hear what my predictions were, if I were right or wrong, you can watch on. And if you want to skip that, just skip ahead when the subtitle will be gone. So here were my predictions. So the first prediction was Shiva becomes sick, not necessarily cursed, but just sick. The next one was they run into other humans. The third one was Shiva discovers a secret. The fourth one was they find a note from Shiva's family. The fifth one was they find treasure. I don't know why I put that there. The sixth one was that Teacher was going to get hurt physically. The seventh one was that Shiva would sneak out during the night. The eighth one was that they find food, which is a very boring prediction. And the ninth one was that they find another human, which is very close to my second prediction. But this one was more like they find someone laying there. And the second one was more like a surprise. We run into each other and something happens. That's 2 different things. In my head, there are 2 different predictions. So actually, I got 2 of them right. So it was the second one. So they ran into other humans. And the sixth one, which was the Teacher gets hurt physically. So he was thrown arrows at his body. But arrows do not kill outsiders. So he was safe. But that's it. That's all I got. They did find other humans, but like the other humans actually found them. So yeah, it was wild. The second volume was a wild ride. I was not expecting it. And it's making me so much more curious to get to understand like why everything is happening. I feel like the author is going to give us the answer eventually, but they're giving us just a tiny bit every time, just enough to make us want to know more, but not getting the full picture, which is brilliant. And same thing in this one, and it ends in a cliffhanger, like with major revelation. I don't know how to describe it, but I really enjoyed it. And I love where it's going at this moment. 5 stars to both of them. If you have not picked this up yet, please pick them up. They are amazing. Also, the third volume was for the wheel color pick in the Aurelium Readathon. So I got a purple. So this one fit the purple prompt. So far for the Aurelium Readathon, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 books finished. 4 prompts actually finished. 3 books, but 4 books, 4 prompts done. I still have The Black Kids, Ready Player One, and Stormland to get to in order to finish the full Aurelium Readathon. the main quest, to be a dream walker. And then if I want to get the dragon riding license, I need to read 2 more books, which is The Dragon's Promise and The Clash of King, which I don't think I'll be able to do. But I'm really trying to get those 3 other books. Right now, I'm pausing on the Robin Hobb read along, which is when I'm on Assassin's Quest right now. I'm pausing this, even if that's putting me behind my own schedule. I don't mind, because right now, I just want to complete Aurelium. That's all I want to do. That's my main goal and focus, is to finish Aurelium. So I paused that one. I paused A Promised Land because it's not part of the Aurelium readathon, and it is part of the Choose Your Own Adventure, so like the monthly stuff. But I'll pick it up right after in May, because I feel like if I just not pick it up anymore, I won't. I'll just soft DNF it, and I don't want that. I want to finish it. But yeah, right now I don't want it to be on my priority, because I really want to win the Aurelium readathon. That's it. That's enough. That's all I got. So far this month I've read There, Alice in Wonderland, the 2 books, the 2 volumes from The Girl from the Other Side, and Ava Lavender. That's it. Oh, and Royal's Assassin. So I read a lot. That's awesome. Also, the 4th prompt, which is like the book that I don't count as a book because it's a page. I did do the prompt, the lore prompt, which was to reread The Legend of Dia, which is a page about a character in the world of Eldia in the Aurelium readathon. So it's just a page. I'm not counting it as a book, but I did get to that prompt. I did read it pretty quickly. Was it during the week? This week or last weekend, and I forgot to talk about it. I don't remember, but I've read it. Trust me, I did. So look at me completing things. Isn't it amazing? So the last 3 books required to complete Aurelium, I all started them. Yay! 2 are on my reader, and the other one is here, Ready Player One. So I started this one this morning. I'm 26 pages in. I read the prologue and the first chapter. So I'm predicting a 3, maybe 3.5. It will depend on how it goes. But I can already see some things, some issues with this that I'm going to have. I just have to remind myself that it's YA. Sometimes I tend to forget. So there's things I can't like complain too much about, because it's part of the YA style-ish. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm not, I feel like I'm gonna have some issues with it. I cannot explain why or how I got that feeling, but it's a gut feeling. I could be wrong though, so we'll see. And I am curious to see like what the movie is going to be. I am going to watch it once I'm done with the book. I'm disappointed also because the writing is very small and there's not a lot of margins in the pages, so it takes me longer to read. But it's all good. I also started The Black Kids, which is really good so far. And it's a good change from the dystopian and the rest of the stuff. I've been reading a lot of dystopian during the same month, surprisingly. So it's a good change of scenery, which I am enjoying. And I am enjoying the writing as well so far. Fun. I'm 13-ish% through. So I'm excited to see how it will be unfolding further. It is giving me a little bit of, what's it called? I haven't read the book. I saw the movie because of the actress that's in it, who played Rue in The Hunger Games. I'll put the title when I find it when I'm editing here. It's giving me those vibes a bit. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see. I am enjoying it though, so yay. I'm finally getting to it. I've been having this one on my TBR for so long, so I'm just happy I'm finally getting to it and still enjoying it. And then I also started Stormland, which was a NetGalley arc that I got like a while back. It's an adult dystopian, so very different. I don't think I've ever read an adult dystopian because most of dystopians are for YA. So I was really excited to get that arc, but I had issues with the actual file and I was not able to read it on time, and I just stopped emailing them with the issue because it didn't work. Nothing worked, and I just put it aside, and I decided that I did want to read it and just move on, and finally give my review, even if it's like 2 years later. I still want to do it. And this one is also for a prompt in our William readathon. So yay. It was for the number of letters in the title, because I had like 9 letters in the title, and Stormland has 9. So I picked that one up. It's a different vibe than Ready Player One, because it's very like it's an ex-marshal trying to retrieve someone out of the Stormland, which is an area where the weather and like nature is completely wild, and it's always constantly in a storm state. So you can't really live there, but like people still do live there because they don't have anywhere else to go. So he's trying to go back there, and the government does not hold accountability for anything that happens there. So it's pretty much a free-for-all space. But in this, you have a lot of 80s and gaming vibes. So the vibe is pretty different. It's not the same, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to separate both of them, even if I'm reading them at the same time. I'm not too worried about that. So on that note, I'm tired of speaking. My throat is starting to hurt, so I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee, and then I would just want to read for now. I am going to plan some stuff, film, probably edit, but for now, I just want to read. I haven't eaten breakfast yet also, and it's almost lunchtime, so I'm probably just going to be eating breakfast, some peanut butter toast or something like that. So yeah, I'm hungry. I want coffee. I'll see you in a bit with some reading updates or a B-roll, something. I know this vlog is going to be a shorter one, so I am going to try to film as much as possible, but we'll see. I have been talking for like over half an hour now, so maybe it won't be that short after all. Anyways, I'll see you later.
So sure I'm distressed. Blame it on
Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a little bit of an update before it gets too dark. It's not very sunny outside, even if the light is kind of weird, but yeah, I think it's starting to rain. Anyways, it is going to be dark pretty soon, and when I film here and it's dark, I don't have any more light. This one is broken, so, and like my normal regular light in my room is also broken, so great, great time. Anyways, I'm gonna do this right now before it gets dark. I made a little bit of progress, but not as much as I wished. I'm still feeling very, very meh from whatever hellish virus I got. My throat aches so much, and my head and my ears, and it's like not a great time. It's not as bad right now because Tylenols are kicking in, but yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be struggling with teaching. Life is what it is. Anyways, I've been more into like scrolling and then telling myself I have a lot of things that I need to get done. But I was feeling so meh that I didn't do anything yesterday, like at all. It's Sunday today, I forgot to say. It's Sunday at the end of the day. I don't know what time it is. 4 o'clock p.m. So yeah, I I wanted to read so much, but at the same time I kept getting distracted and feeling sleepish and then feeling like not great, not good enough to be filming and vlogging and doing the stuff that I needed to get done. Tomorrow morning I don't have the first two periods, and I have two of those days like this week. So I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to get some stuff done during the week. It's a very small week. It's a weird week because tomorrow we are having the day that we were supposed to have when we had a snowstorm at the beginning of winter. So it kind of unbalances the schedule a bit. So I'm not supposed to have like that much free time this week, but it happens. I'm not going to be complaining at all because a lot of other weeks I have a lot of periods and I see my students a lot, which I don't hate. It's just the balance between having time to prep and plan and get everything ready for my classes and the time that I actually am with my students is not always well balanced. So there's that. Anyways, yeah, I'm probably gonna close up the vlog tomorrow morning when I do leave for school, which should be a little bit easier because I'm not gonna be in a rush because I won't necessarily be there for the first period. I'm gonna try to get stuff done here before I leave. I also have a couple of things I need to get done for my students. Not much, but I still need it to get done. So I'm probably going to do that tomorrow morning as well. So yeah, reading wise, I did make some progress in a little bit of everything, but not that much. So I made some progress in this. Now on page 50. It's not that I'm not enjoying it, but I have some issues with it not making sense. I know I feel like it's contradictory because when I talked about Alice, everything is nonsense, but it has to make sense in your nonsense way. Meaning that if you decide that your world works like this, it has to stick to the rules you're given it. Same thing when like in movies or plays, the people watching your movie or play or whatever is going to jump into your concept, but you have to make those rules clear for people to understand it, and it has to make sense quickly in their heads. Even if you don't have all of the puzzle pieces and you don't exactly know how everything works, it has to make sense and within the rules you're giving it to this world. And in this, makes no sense. Everyone going to school online makes no sense to me. The avatar things makes no sense to me. Like, it made so much sense in Slay, for example. They're trying to put so many things into it, and it's all over the place. I don't know how else to explain this, but like the world within it does not make sense, and there's a world within a world, and within the chat room, within like what Also reminds me a little bit of like Sword Art Online, which was an anime made for a game in order to promote the game, and they had I think it's 2 seasons or three, I'm not sure, but at least 2 seasons, and it was so good because people who put the VR helmet on, like they were just playing it, kind of like slaves. So they were just playing, and they got stuck there. They couldn't leave the game, and they were stuck there and had to like go on and play the game and beat the game in order for everyone to get out of there. And that was amazing because it made sense within the world, within our own reality. The two very distinct spaces made sense together and within themselves. Here, not making sense at all. So far, 3 stars. We'll see how that goes. I made a tiny bit of progress in the Black Kids, but I kept falling asleep, unfortunately, on it. And it's not because of the book. I'm still very much enjoying it. It's more of a medicine kicking in and still being sick kind of thing. So, yeah, I didn't make that much progress, maybe 50-ish pages, but that's pretty much it for now. I did take time to update my bullet journal, my reading journal. So I need to color in the other days that I didn't color in. And I also need to, and I think this is the first time it's happened to me, I don't have enough space to write down and like all the books I've completed, which is very new to me. Usually I'll have like 2 pages because I don't read that much. So 2 pages makes it like 8 books to complete. And 2 of those books that I've already written are not completed, but the other ones are. I did put in there The Legend of Dia, so like I was a little bit cheating because I won't count it as a book. But still, very interesting that I need more space. I need another additional page. This has never happened to me. And that is one of the main reasons why I don't do wrap-ups before the actual real end of the month. I don't like going into my TBR not knowing if I'll be able to finish a book. And if I'm not able to finish it, I usually try to move it forward into the next TBR, and that annoys me if I don't have like the real number of books and stuff that I didn't finish that I'm rolling over. Anyways, and I usually put on like my wrap up page, bullet journal page here, so that if I do need some more space like this, I can just add in on later on. So, which is what I'm going to be doing here. It's the first time this has happened to me, so I'm excited. So yeah, I'm gonna update this, probably do some editing, and see what else I can manage to make some progress in for my to-do list. I do need to plan out everything. I haven't planned out anything so far. I do want to do like the end of the month, like as a thing. I might do, I'm not sure yet, but I'm probably going to do like I want to do the end of the month reading rush challenge on, like I do it for myself, but I don't always like put content about it online. And I do want to do it for TikTok. And I'm going to try to do it like every day for this month and see how that goes. So I should have more content on TikTok. I don't know for BookTube yet. I do have a couple of other ideas of videos I wanted to film, but honestly, I don't have time today to film anymore. I did film an annotate with me video though. I don't annotate my books, but what I do annotate is my music sheets. So I thought it would be interesting and very different to do as a video. So I'm going to use that for a TikTok and a YouTube video as well. So that's done. I just need to edit all of that, edit my vlog. So maybe I'll just like keep it to 2 videos for YouTube this week, because we are at the end of the month with me, which means I'll need a wrap up. I'll need to get onto the wrap up and the TBR pretty quickly. And the next month, so May, starts in like mid-week. So I kind of want to get a little bit ahead of things and not be too late to those stuff. So anyways, on that note, I'm gonna continue on here and I'll update you a little bit later with some reading. I am going to take some breaks from whatever I'm doing so that I can get some reading done in between. So that's gonna be it for me right now. I'll see you a bit later. Hey everyone, so it is now time to close this vlog. It is Monday morning. I am about to head out for school. I managed to not read as much as I wanted to because it took me a lot of time to annotate all of my music sheet. It took me almost like 2 hours. So I had like maybe an hour 45-ish of footage of me annotating my music sheet. So there's that. I was productive though, so it's a good thing. I did manage to upload it just now. Everything's done and should be up in a couple of minutes while it finishes the upload and all. And then I also was productive for my post on Facebook. I did not do my TikTok videos, but I will do one. I was supposed to do one this afternoon to announce my end of the month Reading Rush challenge because tomorrow I already have a TikTok that's scheduled to be published tomorrow. But I'll do that when I come back home this evening. Reading wise, I ended up getting at the 108 page mark. So I finished reading chapter 10. So not too bad. I guess maybe a third-ish through, which is good. And honestly, I'm reading this right now like I just want to finish it like as quickly as possible. That's the only reason why I'm reading this as fast as I'm reading it. Other than the stuff that I've already talked about, this feels so convenient. Like this teenager knows everything out of everything. So he's like super smart genius, but also like can't seem to find a job, even on the black market or whatever, whether it's legal or not. They want to expel him. Like he's also not understood by society or whatever. This extremely poor person that grew up with nothing and he wants this prize. Like everything is so convenient. And it's so annoying. There's a lot of info dump in here. He explained how he got some clues and where he got to where he's at now, but there's so much info dumping of, well, in this book, he said that blah, blah, blah. And then this book, he said blah, blah, blah. And he somehow pieces everything all together. And he's read everything that Halliday's has read, all of his favorite books. He's watched all of his favorite series, all of his favorite movies. Like how can a 17-year-old can do all of that, but also be like a super genius at school? You know, he's read multiple times all of his favorite books. Like there's no way that at 17, you know, all of that. Even if like you don't have anything else to do, even then, like how? I don't like this. It's giving me a 2-star vibe for now. The execution of this is not it. Anyways, I'm gonna finish it, but I'm so disappointed. And then I made a tiny bit of progress in The Black Kids, which I'm still enjoying, but I didn't make enough progress to actually say more about this. I will probably give you some updates in the next vlog, because I do intend to finish these 3 books. So Stormland, The Black Kids, and Ready Player One by the end of the month. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around, even if this was definitely not my best vlog. I appreciate every one of you. Like, comment, subscribe if you wish. The notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I will see you soon in the next one.